All right, the day is finally here. The DJI O3 is finally on the Babyhawk. Introducing today the Babyhawk O3. A little bit of long range, a little bit of cinema, and some Fpv Freestyle, all wrapped up into one quad. Let's check it out. The Babyhawk O3 by itself weighs around 158 grams with a 650. This is a 4S 650 battery. Weighs in around 217 grams. With a 4S 750, we're looking at around 240 grams. And with a 4S 850, it looks like it's getting us up around the 250 gram mark. We could just go ahead and call it 250 grams. But without further ado, let's go out and do some flying. I want to show you a little bit of a cinema style flying with a little bit of range and some light freestyle in the mix. Okay, so I'm kind of getting two things here with this quad, and the first thing is it has great range and penetration with the DJI O3 on board. If you're somebody who wants to get out there and fly big field, you can fly nice big open fields with a lot of trees like this, and you'll hardly have any breakup in your DJI goggles. And that's the great thing about flying the DJI O3. And the next big thing is, like, this quad will freestyle, and it will rip super hard if you want to. It's also pretty cheap to repair. So Emax parts are not a lot of money, but your kind of buy-in price is fairly high at $500. But I feel like this definitely has the best of both worlds, a little bit of freestyle and a little bit of kind of range flying. So that was the first thing that I thought of with this quad, was that with a longer flight time, I wanted to get it out there with a 4S 850 battery today and really just enjoy some range flying with it and a little bit of freestyle that this quad's capable of. But I love the lines. I feel that, like, the tune is great on here, and it is powerful enough in the power to weight ratio to get you out of certain things. If you get into trouble, you get close to the ground, you can kind of punch it on the throttle, and you can make much smaller gaps with this quad. So again, you can just get away with more with a 3.5 inch quad versus a 5 inch quad. And super smooth. And again, we can go for power loops and things like that. Let's just give a power loop a shot with these two trees, up and over, just going kind of big air there, back around. It's a nice big slow loop. And again, like, very predictable quad. Just really a joy to fly. I've been flying a lot of large range, like long range, big, large quads lately, and I feel like fall is coming and I'm ready for some small action quads again. So this is kind of like perfect timing for me. It's like you fly one thing for a little while and then you like go back to something different. It's good to change it up every while, once in a while. But the Babyhawk O3, it's a lot of fun, for sure. Alright guys, that was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed flying this. It has all the power you need to be able to just kind of boost over trees, and it's small enough that you can kind of skirt through the smallest branches and gaps. And as far as freestyle goes, you could pretty much do anything that the pro guys are doing with this quad. This is a 3.5 inch quad. It is a bind and fly with ELRS. I wasn't able to get it to pair up with my DJI drone controller because I am missing a couple wires there, but I did also solder up a TBS Crossfire antenna on there with no problem. So you can use TBS Crossfire or ELRS. Now this quad, like it is not super cheap. The ELRS option will get you around $509. You can also get it for P&P setup. That means kind of add your own type of receiver on there for around $499. So if you're looking for something that's fast, it'll do any kind of like cinema motorcycle style videos you want. If you need something a little bit faster but still gets that beautiful 4K stabilized rocksteady video, this is going to be a nice frame because it is pretty durable. It's very thick bottom plate. It has a reasonably lightweight top plate on here. It comes down through the bottom here for the VBAC cable coming up to the batteries, an XT30 there, and it has a full-size battery strap with a 3M sticky pad on the top. And just underneath the DJI O3, we have an all-in-one flight controller. This is an F411 25 amp speed controller. You also have a capacitor up front to make those ESCs run nice and smooth. We also have TPU mount up here with a little bit of shielding around the camera in the bottom half of the shield. Up around the top, it's kind of standard. You do have spots for putting on any type of ND filter, which I would definitely recommend. We have a little bit of carbon over the top, but no protection right here. Just allows you to give it maximum tilt. If you want to come way up to like 35 to 40 degrees, you can definitely do that. If you're doing cinema, you can tilt it all the way down level and fly it a lot slower. It has 2mm hardware there going into the camera, and I have pretty much 2mm hardware around this whole frame. On the bottom, they also have a shield to protect dust and moisture from getting to the flight controller and the ESCs right here, which is kind of a nice feature. We also have the Emax motors on here, which are the Eco Series motors, and I love these little motors. And these motors are 1404 3700 kV Eco motors. 2 bolts on the top of this 3.5-inch prop and 4 bolts on the bottom holding each motor on. On the back of this quad, we have another TPU mount holding this singular dual antenna inside here to the frame, and it just inserts like this. And for travel, it's kind of nice. You can pull it out and you can stick it underneath the battery strap to make it a little bit flatter for transport. I do like that. That's the way it came in the box, and once I plugged this in to the TPU mount, I was pretty much ready to go. And if we look at the back, we can see that the props are set up in the right turn rear configuration, which is the standard quadcopter configuration. This flight controller does only have 2 UARTs on there as well, but you can still get ELRS or Crossfire working, just not GPS. So as far as it being a range flying type of quad, you don't want to crash it too far out because it will pretty much be lost. Once you lose signal, it'll drop to the ground. But I have to tell you, this is a 5 out of 5 stars for a lot of reasons, because I had so much fun with the original analog version of this. Then the Caddx Vista one came along, and that one was a ton of fun. And now the O3's here, and it really doesn't feel any different, except the camera's just better, and now I have onboard 4K stabilized video. So all the bells and whistles on this one just make it a lot of fun. The only thing it's really missing for some real range flying, like I said before, is like having GPS on board. But honestly, I don't feel like I need GPS on something this small, because I'm usually not going out any further than I really want to hike out to get this thing. So who is this Babyhawk 03 for? I think it's for people who have the money to spend on a $500 3.5-inch little ripper with some 4K stabilized video on board. Maybe if you're going to kind of incorporate this into your business, if you have some need for some high-speed 4K FPV footage for your clients, this would absolutely do it. You could chase down motorcycles, cars. This thing will probably do well over 70 miles an hour. So you'd have no problem doing any kind of drift car videos or racing videos and things like that. So as far as real estate, I don't really see it as used for real estate as much as you would like a CineWhoop. So it's not really going to fall into that category. But what it does fall into is it's like I would say it's a good backup quad if you're somebody who flies range and you want to have something out there that you could kind of do some freestyle with, but also get out there a little bit of distance with ELRS or Crossfire on here. So I think that would be nice. But again, like I mentioned before, you can't put GPS on here, so you're not really going to fly it that far away. And with a 4S 850, you know, I'm getting, say, around 8 minutes flight time with this, around 6 with a 750, and somewhere around 3.5 minutes to 4 minutes with a 650. So 650, 750, and 850 batteries are going to be probably your go-to batteries for this quad. I felt like the power to weight ratio again was like through the roof, and I have to say, like, my enjoyment factor of this quad, it's probably 5 stars, because I feel like it has great
kind of flight time, range, and also the freestyle maneuverability. So we started something years ago. It's called Slow Flow, and what it was like big slowed down freestyle out at a range at some good distance out. So it looks really beautiful if you try to slow down all your freestyle tricks and go really slow and big, and just, you know, take your time in those types of maneuvers. Slow your freestyle way down. You'll come back with some really amazing footage, especially if you use Rocksteady 2.0 in here. When you come home with the footage, it looks beautiful. And I also have to say, this would probably be a good trainer for a lot of people learning acro. This is your first trainer quad. This thing is going to be tough as nails. This bottom plate right here, it's at least 5 millimeter. I probably wouldn't say it's like 6, but it has all these extra braces in here. This unibody bottom plate is going to be extra durable, and they have this TPU bumper up front, so you're not even going to hit the carbon coming in on a hard crash right here. And I'm not sure if people talked about that before, but they moved the carbon back right here and they give you a big bumper on the front for those frontal crashes. You also have probably the world's most durable FPV freestyle props out there. These 3.5-inch Avon props, or these might have been the Scimitar, I can't remember which ones they were, but these are, I called these skateboard wheels a while back, because they bend, and you can almost bend these back and fly again, because these props are super tough. They have a strange design to them, because they do have like quite a bit of pitch right here close to the hub of the prop, and then out here it gets super thin and almost like knife-like. And I was scared to fire this one up today, because if you remember a while back, I cut the tip of my finger off, and that's healed up quite nice. I have a little tiny scar right there on the end now, but these are the props that did it, if my memory serves me correctly, so be careful with that. But yeah, then again, like this one's $500, so it really depends on what your needs are, and if this one fits your budget, you're gonna have a lot of fun with it, because it's crazy fun to freestyle this one. A little bit longer flight time for the other 3.5-inch quads out there, and close to the same type of flight time as you have on a CineHawk, which is pretty good when you move up to the 4S 850 pack. So that's the one I would recommend if you guys want to do a little bit of like range flying with this. If you're going to do freestyle proximity close up, this will be good for the backyard. You know, 4-minute flight time on a 4S 650, not bad. I saw Nick Burns do that one, and I only momentarily caught his review, but he was kind of ripping around his yard and having fun with it. And I decided in my review to do something a little different for you guys. Take it out there and just send it for a little bit of range flying and some light freestyle. It's so fun. It's a lot of fun, and I really enjoy flying it. So if you want to check one out, the link down below, go ahead and grab one. If you already have one, let me know. Make some comments down below what you think of the flying today for this Babyhawk 03 edition. I'm super happy to have it, and I'm going to continue making videos, freestyle videos, with this one coming up. You'll see more videos on the Babyhawk 03. If you're interested in it, let me know. Send me an email, and yeah, just if you have any questions at all, please do make a comment down below or send me an email anytime. I appreciate you guys watching. Please do subscribe if you like drones and FPV. You'll see more reviews like this right here on the channel. Guys, I'm Justin Davis. Take care, and I will see you on the next one. Bye-bye.